Yo, welcome back to another Friday of getting down with the dog pound, baby. And I'm getting over being sick, so if you hear me cough a couple times, mind your business. We're going to keep it rolling. I'm going to drink some water. Today, on Getting Down with the Dog Pound, we're going to talk about the Cleveland Browns record. They've listed the home and away teams that we play, but they haven't listed the dates yet. So we're going to go through with no specific schedule, just all the teams that we play home and away. And I'm going to give you how many games I think we win and how many games I think we lose before the draft has even started. I'll do another one after the draft, and I'll do another one in preseason so we can compare them. But between the last 2 years, last year the Browns had the 12th hardest schedule. 2 years ago, the Browns had the first hardest schedule. And this year, I'm not 100% sure. I didn't really see any numbers on it. But based off the teams we play, I would almost guarantee you we have top 5 easiest schedule. So keep that in mind as we listen to the teams that we're playing and who I put as the winner. So I don't lose track of the numbers, I'm going to just put a little tally in my book of wins and losses so I'm not fumbling with the numbers. So let's do the away games first, y'all. Let's do the away games. And let's keep it in the division. We got the Bengals, the Ravens, and the Steelers away. I think we take the Steelers away. Their quarterback is up in the air. Who are they playing? Yeah, their defense is good, but ours is better. I think we definitely take them 1-0. I think the Bengals, that's up in the air because if Joe Burrow's healthy and they're bombing to Chase and Higgins, it could be tough. But I truly think we get them 2-0. And then we play the Ravens away. That one, if Lamar's healthy, is going to be a tough one to get past. However, the Ravens have always been a team that we played well against. So, our defense has always played phenomenal, shutting down a lot of Lamar Jackson's options. And with Myles Garrett getting pressure, and back when we had Owusu Koromora and even Carson Schlesinger this year was doing great spying Lamar, not letting him get to the edge, not letting him get outside and make a big run that'll cripple the drive for us. So, but truly, I think we lose that one. Let's be real. I can't say we win all of them. So in division away, we're going 2-1 away in the division, which ain't bad. Now let's get into the non-divisional teams that we play away. First, and probably the hardest team outside of the division that we play all season is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and my boy Baker Mayfield. Look, I'm a little salty how they let him go, so there is a part of me that wants Baker to just absolutely shred our defense and get 510 passing touchdowns. But still, I want the Browns to win. But, the way they treated Baker was disrespectful. And then to see how they treated the other quarterbacks after him and kind of let them choose and then just kind of force Baker to walk, I had a sour taste and still do in my mouth. However, I still want the Cleveland Browns to win, but I want Baker to do good. I say the Buccaneers win that game. They're at home. They've got a good defense. They've got 2 amazing, young, shining receivers. They got Baker Mayfield who's showing out. So I think they win that one. And that puts us 2-2. And then our next opponents are the Giants. Not much more needs to be said about that. We're gonna win that one. 3-1. Or 3-2, my bad. 3-2. Next is the Jaguars. I think Jacksonville Jaguars have the potential to be a great team. If Brian Thomas Jr. can get it together and start catching balls and not get injured, I think the Jags stand a chance. I don't think they beat us. I think we win that one. I think we go 4-2, but I think they stand a chance. And side note, there's been rumors going around that the Browns might be pushing up offers for Brian Thomas Jr. for the Jags. If the Browns actually do follow through on that and get Brian Thomas Jr., hands down, we win, no question. So, next opponent, we got the Jets. I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. I think the Jets will take us. They're home. They've got a revitalized defense. They're improving their offense. And they've got a high pick in this year's draft to keep improving their team somehow, right? And the Browns struggle in New York. So, I want the Browns to win, but I'm thinking the Jets take that one. And good for the Jets. We're 4-3 now. Now we got the Saints. This game's a good one because this is the one that is not 100% certain, but it's said and rumored and highly projected that the Browns will be against the New Orleans Saints in Paris. The first game, international game in Paris ever. And we're going to be there. The Browns against the Saints, smacking them around like a silly fucking rag doll. We take that one overseas. We needed to get redemption from last year because Dylan Gabriel, bang, was horrible. As you can see, I was at that game. I was sitting by some Vikings fans, and I was bang. Oh, my God, I can't do that on here. Sorry. It was hard. You didn't see it. It was hard because we should have won that game. But Shadir, lead us to a win in Paris. Redeem us. And we got this against the Saints. We're taking that one. We are now 5-3, baby. Our final away game is against the Tennessee Titans, which, fun fact, me and my brother Tubbs went out to Tennessee last year and watched a Titan versus Texan game. Put some parlays down, made some bets, profited some money, and left Tennessee ahead, baby. Browns taking Tennessee. I don't think, as of now, Tennessee hasn't added any new pieces to contend with what the league was last year, and they weren't contenders at all. I think the Browns have added way more pieces to be contenders and possible playoff team than the Titans. So we take that one, and we finish our away record 6-3, which for the Browns, pretty darn good. Now let's get into the home games, and we're going to do divisional home games first, like we did away games. So we've got the Ravens, Steelers, and Bengals. Home, I'm going to say we take the Steelers, we sweep the Steelers. Like, again, their offense is uncertain, their defense is good, but ours is better. 2-0 against the Steelers. That means we're a total of 7-3. I think the same thing happens for the Bengals. I just don't think at home, the way our crowd is, that Joe Burrow is actually going to get the oomph, the energy he needs to beat out Myles Garrett and these Browns defense while Shadir scores 50 points on them. So I'm going to give us the sweep and the win against the Bengals and the Ravens. Man, I want to say we win, but assuming everything is how it is now, Lamar's healthy, Derek's healthy, all that, I think they beat us and they take the sweep on us. So we lose that one to the Ravens. A tough, close loss, but we lose. Now let's get into our home schedule. I said the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are probably the hardest team we had to face this year. This next team is maybe up there with them as one of the hardest teams we'll have to face. And that is the Indianapolis Colts. If our hardest teams we play all year are the Bucs and the Colts, we better be making those playoffs. We better be. Todd Monken, get it together. That one's a tough one too, because if Myles Garrett shuts down Jonathan Taylor, then the Browns win by a lot. If Jonathan Taylor can get going and get running, I think the Colts win. And to be honest, the preliminary first record assumptions, I'm going to give it to the Colts. I'm going to say we lose that one. We lose to the Colts at home, and we're 8-5 right now. Now we got the Falcons. 9-5. Give us that win. I truly do not think Bijan Robinson will be able to do it. And who's their quarterback throwing to Drake London? Drake London's great, but if you got a defense like the Browns, it's going to be tough. So I truly do think the Browns take this one unless Bijan, sorry, I think I've been pronouncing it wrong. Bijan Robinson goes for like 304 tutties, then they might win. But that's us. Next, we got the Panthers. This one is probably going to be one of the closest games we have all season and one of the most important games we have all season. The Panthers have added a lot of pieces to their team this offseason so far in free agency, and so have the Cleveland Browns. Bryce Young is very energetic, looking like he was ready to go at the end of last season. He is really picking it up into gear. So I think if he keeps going, I think that it'll be tough for the Browns if he's throwing to, I forget Terry, whatever you say his last name. I always mess up. But he's got some weapons out there. So get another receiver, try to get another piece to that offensive line, and then that Carolina offense is looking nice. But I think we take him. I think we take him in a close game, and that puts us at 10-5, and we have only a few more opponents left to go. And at this point, we are pretty much locked into a wild card spot, fighting for the first seed in the division and fighting for the first seed in the AFC. So the playoffs come through Cleveland. Then we got the Raiders. We don't go there. They come to us. I think we lose this one, though. If they get Fernando Mendoza and then Ashton Genty in the backfield, Brock Bowers, they just signed Linderbaum, so the Crosby deal fell through, so they got good defense back there still. I think they take us on that one. I hate to say it, but we've never really played well against the Vegas Raiders, and I do think they take us. Now we are 10-6. We got another one against the Titans, and this would be our last home. Well, not literally our last, but this is the last home game that I'm going to be guessing for our record, but it may not be schedule-wise our last home game. The my bad. The Houston Texans. Sorry, I already said the Tennessee Titans. The Houston Texans is the last home game that I'm going to guess what our record will be. And I think as hard as it is to say, sorry, that's my dog barking, I think we lose to the Texans. Like, if C.J. Stroud can stay on it, they get that run game going and put pressure on our defense, I think it's going to be hard for our offense to confront their defense as it would be their defense for our offense, if that makes sense. I know I'm confused, but so I think we do lose that game, unfortunately, which would mean Nova, what you barking at, girl? Speaking of dog pound, got my dog out there pounding on the ground. Nova. But I think the Browns, that's it for the preliminary, like before the draft, before the regular season, preseason, anything. I think the Browns go 10-7. That's what it is. 10-7. I think they take first in the AFC North, but they do not take first in the old AFC. I think they get the second or third seed in the playoffs, and they go to the AFC Championship. And then I won't say whether they lose or win there, but yeah, man. Like as we get more into the season, there'll be more in-depth things to break down, like players and stats and signings. But with free agency, we're signing so many players. I'm waiting to see, what happens, who we keep getting, the bigger pieces that we got and that we need, and then who we're going to be looking forward to in the draft. So we got the 6th pick there. Are we going to trade back? Are we going to trade back and try to get, another good player or a couple more picks later in the draft? Are we going to try to draft Cornell Tate, wide receiver that we need? Are we going to try to get an offensive lineman? Or are we going to pull a Browns and draft a freaking quarterback or a defensive end? So, yeah, I mean, next week I'll talk a little bit about, I think, what we should do with that 6th pick in the draft. But for this week, that was the Cleveland Browns record that I personally believe the Cleveland Browns will have at the end of the season. As of right now, this time and moment, like I said, things might change after the draft or when preseason starts. But right now, don't call me a fool. You can call me crazy. You can say the Browns are garbage. But that is what I predict the Browns will be this season. 10-17 with 2nd or 3rd seed in the AFC, baby. Thank you guys for tuning in. Again, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button down below. And more importantly, let me know what you think in the comments. What I should talk about on the Browns. What you think of the Browns. What you think of how I'm shooting these videos with the Browns. Any more jerseys you want me to put up there? I got like 15 different jerseys. I just be flooding most of them. Got the little patch. I wore this one to London. I got a little patch, beware the dogs. And on the other side, it has the captain badge because my boy Denzel Ward's the motherfucking captain. So that was Getting Down with a Dog Pound on Fridays, everybody. Much love, much respects. Stay tuned for next week. Tanner Rocks, Unplugged.